I'm quite thirsty, but the issue is my water is frozen solid inside my bottle. You join me today on a beautiful sunny day. It's also the coldest day of the trip so far. In the night it got down to minus 17.7 degrees. We've got a lot of driving to do today, 6 hours to be precise. Just pulled up at some services and there is quite a nice view behind me, but I have to say the landscape is starting to flatten out a little bit, but the temperatures are dropping and we are getting closer to the Arctic, and that is indeed the goal. At the end of the last episode, you guys left me here. That was that incredible Atlantic road. From there, I drove a little bit up the coast and I stopped overnight there. The park up wasn't anything special. It was just literally outside a shop. I think it was a co-op. The van was covered in snow. Like I say, it got down to minus 17.7 degrees last night. There was ice on the inside of the doors and the windows. In the back here, it was absolutely fine. The Truma has been working smoothly for a few days now. I have 3 temperature sensors inside the van and 1 outside the van, and the 3 that are inside the van showed minus 2 degrees in the cab, but it was 18 degrees in here and 14 degrees in the garage. So that shows that this thermal curtain is doing an amazing job. But I also have one over the rear doors and that one has been rolled up. So part of the prep for tonight is rolling down that curtain as well. I have also got this homemade window blind. I literally just made this from some insulating material that I found on Amazon. I've not actually checked it for size yet, so I'm hoping I've done a good job with the measurements. Oh, look at that. She fits like an absolute glove. And I've also got this smaller one which I've made for the Max fan. And once again, glove-like. So in today's episode, the aim is to reach the Arctic Circle, which I believe runs roughly across there. The goal today is to do half of that drive to the Arctic Circle, and then tomorrow we will push on and hopefully reach our goal. I've also got this stuff. There's a liquid in there and there's a sponge on the top, and you just paint that on to your door seals and that just stops your doors from freezing shut. And finally I have this thing. So this is a grill cover which just sits over there. It stops so much Arctic wind getting to your engine, but right now I don't want the engine to freeze up. I've been stopped a while. We are losing daylight. So I think this is a job that's going to have to wait for tomorrow. I'm going to hit the road again and we're going to see how far we can get. So I've pulled into this place here which said it's a sort of picnic area. Obviously there's a services there. So I've just rocked up here. I'm hoping it's acceptable. There is a petrol station behind me. Feels like a bit of a cheeky stealth camp, to be honest. But it's such a big area that I don't really think I'm going to be in the way of anyone. And I'm not going to be here late into the morning anyway. Honestly, that drive was insane. The first hour was like driving on an ice rink in the dark. The second hour was like driving on a ski slope in the dark, mixed in with the occasional snow cloud that just blinded you completely every time a vehicle came in the opposite direction. The water is still not fully defrosted, but I'm leaving it in the back this time so we can drink that in the morning. But we do have an issue, not a major one, but the sink is no longer draining. There's obviously an ice blockage down below. It's not the end of the world. I've no idea what this is. It's called pasta arrabbiata, med tomat flotte auxella. But it looks good. And yes, I am back on the wooden forks because I can't wash up, so this is my only real option. That better not be an evil mushroom. Should I check now or should I check afterwards? Egg white, van flotte, champignon, it's that flotte thing that I'm worried about. Right, where's my phone? Oh, it's happened! I can't waste it. I've already made it now.
This is Garrick, and it is the 7th build to come out of Ape Adventure Vans, and the zookeeper promises me...
Yeah, forgot about that. Don't get me wrong, I usually love the snow, but today we don't need it. We have an Arctic to get to. I guess we should probably de-ice the number plate, because if we don't, the toll roads won't be able to read it and it won't be able to send us a bill. The moment of truth. Oh, look at that! The pigeon must have some feline cousins because she's purring. She is purring. I'm just going to scrape the ice off of that number plate and then we're going to get going. You guys still here? You don't need to wait around for this. I'll deal with it. Go on. With a chewy bar that is no longer chewy because it was left in the cab all night. A can of raspberry flavoured burn, a relatively warm engine and an extremely clean number plate. There's only one thing left to do. So I was just getting rid of the excess snow from the roof. Let's go to the Arctic Circle. I just wanted to show you guys something, right? So that over there to the right, it looks like a field. You'd expect it to be a field. You can see on the map, it is a lake. There is so many like that where it's just covered in sheet ice and then covered in snow. So every time I pull off the road onto something flat, I have to check the map to check that I'm not going to plunge into the water. But anyway, that's enough for my educational section. Let's crack on with the journey. The new ETA is 3 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour. If anyone could tell me where the road is, that would be appreciated. Okay, we are approaching a tunnel and this one is 8.6 kilometers long. So quite often in these tunnels, because they're so long and the weather system is different on either side of the mountain. Let's see what we are entering. And there we go, a nice clear day. We are officially here. There seems to be a little bit of a snowstorm kicking off. I'm sliding all over the place. The wind is throwing me about, but we have made it. We are in the Arctic. I left my house just over 2 weeks ago. I've driven 2,000 miles. There's been a couple of occasions when I've had to nearly turn around and go home. One because of the heating system in the van, and once when the check engine light came on. But despite all the odds, we are in the Arctic Circle. The reason why that last clip just randomly cut out like that, I've just been checking the footage now. The camera must have been too cold because it just stopped working. And there's another couple of clips that I tried to film and there was just no audio whatsoever, so obviously the mic gave up hope as well. I've driven on a little bit further and found slightly more of a sheltered spot and some random car park. I can't even find out on the map what this place is. It's just this building with a car park in front of it, and you can see on my CCTV on the front camera there are people outside it now, a lot more than there were when I pulled in. But right now I'm actually going to take a little walk because I just want to test these cameras again outside. So this is the first camera, the one that cut out earlier. It's only minus 15 degrees tonight, which, well, I say only, but for the camera I thought that would be alright. I don't actually know what it was at the other place. I didn't look at the temperature, but it couldn't have been that much different because we're not that far from where that spot was. Okay, this is the main camera that I've been using a lot for this trip. It's not quite as good quality as the other one, but it's more convenient to use. But right now I'm going to get back in the van because coming out here was a little bit of a mistake without my gloves. Good morning from the Arctic Circle. Looks like there's a little bit of prep to do getting the snow off. Oh, look at that. The number plate has frozen up again. Unbelievable. But I have just remembered I've got to put that grill cover on. And that is the grill in place. So this one is nice and tight. This one, it just doesn't tighten up any further than that. And it's not like you can get a spanner on there or anything because it's a circle. Not the best design, but it's on there. I don't think it's going to come off. There you go, pigeon. Now you can see again. The van has been prepped. Other than a number plate, I'm just going to de-ice that now, but I don't want to bore you guys with that. So I'll sort that out and I'll meet you back in a van where I'll update you on the plan. According to the external thermometer, it's currently only minus 8.2, so I don't think we're going to have any issues starting today. Whilst the engine heats up, let me fill you in on the plan. So, we have so far come all the way from here, all the way up here, all the way around here. Now we're in the Arctic, we don't have so much actual driving to do, which is a good thing. We are right here, just inside the Arctic Circle. Now, according to my infinite research, I've discovered this group of islands here. It's called the Lofoten Islands, and it looks amazing. So today I am going to make my way over to a place called, I think, Bodo, and from there you can get a boat across. So that is today's target. But on the way there are 3 stops that I want to make, the first of which is only 25 minutes away. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's called the Arctic Circle Centre, some sort of museum-y place where you can get information, I don't know. But it's not too far and it's on the route, so that's where we're headed now. I was just driving along and I had to pull over to show you guys this. So far I've just seen loads of mountains, you see a lot of rocks, a lot of trees, and all of a sudden I was just driving through this place and it is just white everywhere you look. It is absolutely unbelievable. Smooth snow for as far as the eye can see. It's just mad how I've just got this whole place to myself. There's no cars on the road, no nothing. If it wasn't for the markers at the side of the road, you'd think you're on another planet. It's absolutely insane out here. If you told me when I started this YouTube channel that in a couple of years' time I'd be standing on an Arctic road in the freezing cold in the middle of nowhere on my own, I would have thought you were crazy. And yet here I am. Life has some funny turns, I'm telling you that. I can see some mad dome building. In fact, I can see the word Arctic written on it, so I'm assuming that is where we're headed. Satnav says 2 minutes away. Hang on a sec.
You've entered the car park for your destination.
Right, I'm assuming it is closed for the winter. So that's the place over there, but this here is apparently the route through, and then you go round and into it. But this is clearly not been ploughed for a while. I mean, look at that, the snow is the same height as me. It's a little bit windy, not too bad, but I'm going to send the drone up so we can see what that building's like, and then we're going to hit the road again. Just coming into a small sort of town stroke village area. It's about an hour from where we actually stayed last night, and the reason why I've come here is because there's apparently a cafe. I was going to be doing a bit of cooking on this trip, but because I don't have a sink and I can't wash up, I can't really use my pots and pans, so I've been living off of petrol station food and the odd ready meal. So I thought I'd stop in here. Whoa, we're sliding. Why is he beeping at me? It's not my fault that I'm sliding. I can see a poster of burgers on the wall. It's gotta be it. That was a tasty burger. Now, I think what I'm going to do now is screw some more of the studs into the tyres after that death slide. I think it's probably the sensible thing to do. Job done. Hopefully we'll have a bit more grip now. Thought that was James May. But I think I'm going to wrap this episode up here because, no, we're sliding all over the place. I think it's just that patch of road because it's not happened before. But we will push on and hopefully remain in a straight line when needed. But I'm going to wrap this episode up. The place that I'm going to now is, well, there's basically a little town and it's quite near the ferry port where we're going to cross over to the islands. And in that town I just need to find somewhere to get a SIM card so that I can get some more data to upload these videos for you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully next time you see me I'll be crossing over to the Lofoten Islands, or it might just be called Lofoten. It might be called something completely different. I really should research this a little bit more. But I'll be heading to the beautiful islands, so make sure you guys stay tuned and I will catch you next week.